every one of us eventually finds a car that we never want to let go. And this is mine.
But it's a bit broken. So in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what's wrong with it and all the really cool stuff that we've got coming up as well.
But before we do that, let's go back to where this car's story began. In 2019, I embarked on a gap year to Australia, and while it felt terrifying, I knew it would be the adventure of a lifetime. I wanted to live, work, travel, and experience all that the country had to offer, and part of that was I needed a car to get around. I'd imagined driving along the coast in an E46 convertible and was convinced it was the best option. However, E46 convertibles were really expensive, far more than I could afford. So then I decided to look at standard E46s. But after the only one I could afford was sold before I got a chance to buy it, I began looking at the E90s, and I found this one.
I just bought myself a BMW.
Completely unaware of the journey I was about to start with it. During that year, I visited Sydney, the Melbourne Grand Prix track, Bathurst, Blue Mountains, Canberra, the Snowy Mountains, the Great Ocean Road, and deep in the heart of the outback, I drove to Uluru.
Oh my god!
I had the highs of these incredible places and the lows too. And towards the end of the year, I began to realise I'd soon have to part ways with this car, which I really detested the idea of
shipping a 13-year-old car from Australia to England.
So after copious amounts of research, I dropped the car off at the docks at Melbourne, ready for transport, and headed home myself. 2 months later, the car followed suit.
The car's on that boat, this is a live feed.
And deep in the middle of COVID lockdowns, I orchestrated the car to be transported to where I lived. The next 12 months were a flurry of finding problems, fixing them, creating more, and then attempting to resolve them too. But eventually, it was clear enough to get a UK registration, which was an entire problem in itself.
This form, on the other hand, is the most confusing,
But once I managed to get my head around the paperwork, I finally had it registered. After that, I drove it everywhere, showed friends and family, and just tried to enjoy it as much as I could. But as with many things, it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. I'd managed to blow up the electrics by reversing the cables when I went to jump it, so I spent 4 years chasing down electrical gremlins. And that brings us to today. The car's been in the country for about 6 years now, and in that time I've possibly not looked after it as well as I maybe should have done. Up at the front you've got a big dent on the bonnet, which means the kidney grills don't fit exactly right. There's lots of scratches on the bumper, there's lots of paint chips from rocks being flicked up on the road, faded badges, and the seal above the front window is almost non-existent. Moving down the side of the car, there's a couple of dents on the door, there's a broken side skirt from when it accidentally fell off a jack, there's a couple of scratches and paint missing on the rear bumper, there's paint peeling on the wing, and the wheels have been cracked. They have been repaired, but they're not exactly as good as they were. Now let's talk mechanical. For the most part, this hasn't actually put a foot wrong. It's been really reliable. It's a straight 6, 2.5 litre N52 engine. Now it's got 187,000 in total, so fairly high mileage for what it is, but honestly, it's been okay. Just a couple little things that it needs doing. Firstly is it needs a new thermostat. The car is running really cold at the moment, so obviously it's stuck open. There is also quite a lot of oil leaks. I know the sump gasket's leaking, the rocker gasket's leaking, and I'm guessing some others are probably leaking as well. It also needs new suspension, control arms, I'm pretty sure it needs a new steering rack, and probably an anti-roll bar as well, because the front end just does not feel connected to the car. Like, you'd be driving down and the steering wheel doesn't move, the wheel feels like it's moving, it's ridiculous. There's a kid screaming over there, that's not helping. Now, one of the most annoying things about this car is because the thermostat is broken, it means you don't get any heating of any kind
at all. While not strictly massively important, the steering wheel has done 190,000 miles, and it is really, really showing. It is so worn down, it slips through your hands every single time you go to turn anywhere. It's just not that great of a feeling anymore, so I want to try and do something about that. Also, something that isn't massively important, but is quite important when you're on the long drives, is the radio. I have Apple CarPlay aftermarket fitted into here, which is brilliant. And I've also had to replace the head unit twice before. Firstly, because I blew it up, yes. And secondly, because the second one I bought wasn't very good, so I had to buy a third one and had that reconditioned, and it was all good. However, it is now also broken, and so I don't have any sound in this car except for the BMW chimes, which is all you really need to hear. There's also a couple of niggly bits that need attention in the interior too. So for example, the climate control panel is slightly loose and it's just not clipped on very good. So I think the clip behind it has snapped, so that needs sorting. The cup holders that are in front of the passenger seat are completely stuck. You can just about wrangle them out, but they're not very good. Then there's a couple of little bits just in general about the trim. It just needs tidying up, it just needs cleaning up a little bit. But the main thing of the interior, really, apart from the heating, that I want to sort are the seats. The seats are fine. However, they are leather. And when I bought this in Australia, leather was fine. Yes, it got hot, but, warm climate, leather works very well. Here in England, it is very, very, very infrequently hot. And normally, when you get into leather when it's cold, you are absolutely frozen solid. And of everything in the car, the seats are the last things to warm up. So, I want to upgrade the seats. To what? I have no idea. So there is a fair bit to do, but thankfully none of it is really disastrous. The original allure of taking this around the world, seeing different places and experiencing different cultures with this car is still the main motivator for me wanting to get this all completely sorted. So here is the plan. Number one, I want to get the paint all sorted, the bodywork sorted, and then wrap it. Next up, I want to make sure the interior is comfortable in here. Steering wheel, I want the radio working, trim's not falling off, and most importantly, I want these seats to be comfortable. Also, the mechanical stuff. I need to go through the engine, sort out all the oil leaks, change all the control arms and the suspension, and then later down the line, I'd love to do an engine rebuild on this, but I have absolutely no idea what to do with that, so I may need some help. So in the Matt Armstrong universe, this is a very simple project, but it's not about the simplicity, it's about the sentimentality, it's about the journey that I want to go on with this car, and the fact I'm about as mechanically minded as a gorilla. And since I decided quite a while ago that this car would have a name, it seems only right to name it after that. So welcome to Project Bruce.
If you want to follow along on the journey of me and Bruce, please do click that subscribe button. I'd be forever grateful.